What's up, YouTube? Once again, you're in the kitchen with Paul, aka Bus, aka the big guy, aka PM. But enough of all that. Today we're going to be making pork chops. Not just any pork chops. We're going to smother these pork chops. Now, some people don't eat pork. It's just a fact of life. You can do this same exact recipe with turkey chops and with chicken chops. Okay? You say, what is turkey chops? What is chicken chops? Turkey chops is just the breast meat, and it's cut on a diagonal so that it looks like chops. Same thing with chicken. It's cut on a diagonal across the breast so it looks like a chop. Okay? And this recipe works for chicken and turkey just as well. But going to my grocery store, pork was on sale. So we got pork chops. So this is what we're going to do in the kitchen today with Paul. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, we're going to prepare our chops. First thing that you need to do is you need to get some all-purpose flour. In that flour, you're going to have to season it. And we take our triple play. Granulated garlic, granulated onion, and seasoned salt. Equal parts of each one, just to season up the flour. And of course, you want to put a little pepper in there. What you're going to do is you're going to take a fork. You're going to mix this all together. And while this is mixing together, what we want to do is we want to get our fire going. We've taken some olive oil, put it in a pan. I'm going to allow that olive oil to heat up because that's what's going to cook the pork chops. Now, pork chops we have on standby right here. What we did was we layered them each with a piece of paper towel. Look at these. That's a nice chop there. And we're going to lay it inside of the flour. And we just want to lightly dust it. Make sure it's all covered with the flour. What this is going to do is it's going to put a nice crust on the pork chop. And also what it's going to do is when we start to smother the pork chops, it's going to help to make a gravy. So what we do is we set these pork chops on the side. Grab a plate. And as you put the flour on the pork chops, what you want to do is you want to set it aside, get it ready. Now you don't want to cook too many at one time. You just want to cook as many as your pan will take. You don't want to stuff them in there because you want the chop to get a little crust on it. You want it to get a little crispy. So if you have them too close together, it's not going to cook the chops, it's just going to steam the chop. And once we get these chops ready, you want to check and see if that oil is ready. You see what I did? I just flicked a little bit of excess flour off of my fingers into the oil. If that oil starts to bubble up, that means it's ready. Okay, it's not quite ready yet, but it's getting there. Okay, it's there now. Let's bring the camera over so you can see these chops being cooked up. So what you want to do, you're going to take your chop, put it in the oil. Always lay the chop away from you. That way, you don't get a splash. You see, I put the chop in, and when I lay it down away from me. You don't want to get yourself burned in the kitchen. That's not a good thing. Once again, lay the chop down. Let it go away from you. Okay? We're going to cook these chops up. And once we finish cooking them up, we're going to set them to the side. And we're going to drain off this oil. And then we're going to cut up what's going to go into our gravy. Because we want to lay the chops in a pan with some gravy. And then we're going to put them in the oven to finish them off. Okay, let's turn one of our chops over to see how they're doing. Yeah, nice golden brown there. See what I'm doing? As I'm turning the chop over, I'm laying it on top of another chop so it doesn't splash into the oil. You don't want the chop to splash into the oil. There you go. Let's continue to cook these. We're going to cook all of these chops up. And then we're going to show you what else we're going to do with them. Okay, I'm back. So I've lined my pan with aluminum foil. I placed my pork chops in. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to pour this gravy on top of the pork chops. You see the gravy is nice and thin. It's not too thick because it's going to thicken up in the oven. Okay. There we go. You got that gravy on there. And what we want to do is we want to seal all of this in. So we take some aluminum foil. And make sure that we seal it. And do the other side. Making sure that we seal it all the way around. You want that steam to stay in there to continue to cook these pork chops. Like I said, we got the oven going 350. And look at that. That just signified that it got up to 350. Okay? We're going to take our towel, grab our pork chops, and put them in the oven. Let's see what towel this is. BAM! We're not going to talk about that right now. I got a million of them. Okay. Put the pork chops in the oven. 350 for about an hour. We'll check back when it's ready. Okay, it's been about an hour and 10 minutes. We're gonna go and get our chops out of the oven. See how it turned out. All right, let's see here. Want to unveil them right into the camera. Let's see here. The camera nice and close. All right. Gotta be careful with the foil because steam is not your friend. Oh man, they are looking fabulous. As your president would say, tremendous. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, nice gravy there. Gravy Fantastic. You got the onions in there. But let me show you this meat. Let me show you. Watch this. Bang. It breaks the meat completely apart. Look at that. Look at how that spoon went right through that meat. Bang. Oh my goodness. These chops are going to be incredible. What I did was I got some noodles. What I did was I made some egg noodles and I made some broccoli. And what we're going to do is we're going to plate this up and test it out. Okay, here we go. As the saying goes, now we come to the payoff. What I did was I made smothered pork chops. I made some broccoli and I put the pork chop over some egg noodles. Put some gravy over the top. And now let's go in for a taste. As you can see, this is the bone side. So let's twist this pork chop around and see how tender it is. You can take that fork and go right through it. Look at that. Without a problem. Okay? I don't want to knock all the egg noodles off the plate. Let's get a nice piece of pork here. Wow. That is incredible. You know, I've been trying to live healthy. I haven't had a pork chop in a long time, especially a smothered pork chop. What have I been missing? Oh boy. The meat is so tender and juicy. The flavors inside of that gravy. Oh, when we were making the gravy, you remember how it's looking like it was too much mushrooms, there's too much scallions, there's too much garlic and all that stuff. It all cooked down, and it's not a lot at all. You see the mushrooms here with the egg noodles. I got going for another piece of this pork chop. This is incredible. Mushrooms are cooked down to perfection. Egg noodles are good. Now we flashed the broccoli. We steamed it. And then after we steamed it, we put it in some ice water. And the ice water stopped the cooking process, but it also kept the broccoli nice and crunchy. So now I can just flavor it by pouring some of this gravy on top of the broccoli. Oh boy. That is a treat. I love crunchy broccoli. I love broccoli that's not overcooked. And this, I hate to talk with my mouth open, with my mouth full, but this is incredible. Once again, you've been in the kitchen with Paul. If you love this recipe, please, you love the way I made the recipe, give me a thumbs up. Write me some comments if you have any questions about the recipe. Write me some comments down below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. After you subscribe, there's a little bell right next to the subscribe button. If you press that bell, every time I post a video, it's going to show you that I've posted a new video. So you can stay on top of every type of food that we're cooking in the kitchen with Paul. Once again, I want to tell you to keep God first in your life. Love your family. And most of all, love yourself. I'm Paul. Peace, y'all.